quick position rundown for you. The top 5 are Verstappen, Russell, Hamilton, Piastri and Leclerc. Okay, so as for the cars around us, just ahead are Leclerc, Sainz and Norris. And just behind us are Perez, Alonso and Gasly. The fastest lap at this point in time is a 1:28.9. Sorry, we can't provide you with that information right now. Here's a quick position rundown for you. The top 5 are Russell, Hamilton, Sainz, Leclerc and Verstappen. The fastest lap at this point in time is a 1:27.9. We don't have the data for that, I'm afraid.
We're all ready for tomorrow's race, but before we begin, let's have a quick look at those who'll be fronting the grid. Russell, Hamilton and Carlos Sainz. With qualifying complete, all that remains now is the main event. We'll be live and uninterrupted for the Grand Prix tomorrow, so make sure you join us then. Welcome everyone as you join us at a former Second World War aircraft base, now converted into one of the great motor racing tracks. Britain is one of only 2 countries to have held a Grand Prix in every year of the Formula One World Championship, and long may that continue. This is Silverstone, and this is the British Grand Prix. Straddling the border of Northamptonshire and Buckinghamshire, the 18 corners of Silverstone Circuit form the 3.6-mile beating heart of Formula One. It's been reinvented over the years, with turn 1 now the fast right-hander of Abbey, but the magic of racing is as strong here as it's ever been. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. George Russell will begin today's event in pole position, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Sainz, Daniel, Leclerc, Verstappen, Perez, Fernando Alonso, Oscar Piastri, Albon, Norris, Gasly, Ocon, Stroll, Joe, Bottas, Sargent, Magnussen, Hulkenberg, and Daniel Ricciardo fills the last spot on the grid. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head down trackside for today's race. Anthony Davidson is here once again for today's Grand Prix. The last few races have been a bit rough for them, unable to get a clean run.
Okay, so everything looks good on the power unit cycles, so let's concentrate on bringing tyres and brakes up to temperature.
Well, they've done a brilliant job, I must say, under some intense pressure to take a well-earned victory here at the British Grand Prix. Talk to me, Ant. What was it that set them apart from the competition today?
I feel like consistency was probably the key today. There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap. If you can do that, you can capitalise on other people's errors without making many of your own. And that's an approach that can push you a long way up the field.
So after a magnificent race, we can now see the drivers making their way to the podium. Once again, it's the Silver Arrows who take the top spot, a well-earned victory for Mercedes. And now let's take a look at the drivers' standings. Max Verstappen should be pleased with his performance, making gains at the top of the table. Let's focus on the driver of the day, Anthony Davidson. Who do you pick?
It's got to be Lewis Hamilton. I mean, he pulled off some impressive feats out on the track today, even by his standards.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. There was also a strong showing from the Mercedes team today, as they make their way up the standings. It's been an absolutely wild weekend of Formula One action, and I can't wait to see what's next.
It's contract renewal time, so think about if this is where you still want to be. We can try and negotiate a better deal here, but we also have the chance to look elsewhere. Here you can make salary demands to the team. Any extra over your base salary will go into your perk fund. The more you demand, the lower the chances of our success. Do make sure that you don't go demanding anything unrealistic for your acclaim level. If you do, the team might refuse to negotiate any more with you in this negotiation period.
I know we were expecting some new developments to come through, but some of them have failed quality control. We'll need to tell the team what to redevelop via the R&D screen. Thanks. I know these kinds of decisions can be challenging, but I think you made the right call.
Top 5 cars as things stand: Sainz, Sargent, Norris, Leclerc and Piastri. Currently the fastest lap is at 1 minute 20.5. Sorry, we can't provide you with that information right now.
Welcome to Budapest once again for another round of Formula One action. Historically, a good race for first-time victories, with Button, Hill, Alonso and Heikki Kovalainen all reaching the top step of the podium for the very first time right here. We're northeast of Budapest for today's race at the 2.7-mile Hungaroringu circuit. 14 corners here, 8 to the right and 6 to the left, on a track where downforce is king and passing is notoriously difficult. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. A fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday, and it's put him on pole. And starting next to them is George Russell. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Sainz, Verstappen, Hamilton, Norris, Oscar Piastri, Perez, Fernando Alonso, Gasly, Ocon, Stroll, Albon, Joe, Ricciardo, Magnussen, Bottas, Hülkenberg, Sargent, and Daniel. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway. It's just about time to go down to the track for the beginning of the race, but before we do, Anthony Davidson, what types of strategy do you think we can expect for today's event?
Well, there's a lot that both the driver and the team have to keep in mind when going into a race. The tyres, fuel, energy recovery systems, the list goes on and on. But I think the key to today's victory will come down to the pit stop strategy. Come in too soon and you might find yourself needing more than one stop. Too late and you're putting yourself at a disadvantage by spending longer on worn tyres.
Launch map is good, but we need to learn the gears, so go into each one when you can. We're going to need some work on the brakes, so put some energy into them and warm the tyres as well, please. Nice move, good job. Caution. Okay, clear. P12, you've got P12. Stroll is ahead of you. Okay, gap ahead is 2.0 seconds. They're on old mediums. Gasly's behind you, and the gap behind us is 1.2 seconds. Okay, they're on old hard tyres. Our gap to first place is 15.0 seconds. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 1.7 seconds. Our gap to the car in front is 1.7 seconds. Lapping around a second faster than the car ahead. Keep this up. Information on Ocon. They've got an issue with their car. They're going to be slow. Good job, nice overtake. Okay, mate, don't worry about the damage. I've got some new strategy options if you go and check your MFD. Got that, confirmed. Right, we're no longer sure that these tyres are the right ones. It might be time to come in and change. Okay, the stewards have now disabled DRS. DRS is now disabled. As things stand right now, we'll be 10th in the championship. Daniel's in the pits. Okay, go, go, go. Perfect job from you and the crew there, mate. We're delighted with that. That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Let's go. Got a lot of spare energy, okay to use your overtake button. Flag. Okay, red flag, mate, red flag. No overtaking, please. We'll see you in the pit lane. There's a good chance to change our strategy for the rest of the Grand Prix if we want to. We'll be getting underway in just a moment. Stand by. Right, there's a big incident in front of you. Red flag, red flag. We'll update you in the pits. Everyone's okay. There's been an incident on track, but officials aren't looking to push for a safety car. We've done all right so far, but this is a chance to take a breath. We've got another half of this race to go, and there's still a big opportunity there. This feels a bit like deja vu here, but it's a good opportunity to get this start spot on. Come on. Okay, we've got 4 laps of fuel remaining. Okay, mate, this is the final lap of the race. Final lap. Okay, clear. We've only got 2 laps of fuel left. ETA on this rain clearing up is about 10 minutes, so just keep your concentration out there, you're doing well.
Victory in Budapest then, and what a victory it is after an incredible Grand Prix. What do you think it was today, Ants, that gave them the edge over the competition?
It's a heroic effort for any driver to race in conditions like these, and seeing them fight their way to the front was very special indeed. They were able to find all the grip, all the good lines, and had the confidence to get on the power to top it all off. That's what pushed them into first place here today.
Red Bull are our winners today after showcasing some incredible driving. There's been a huge push from them lately to stay competitive with the other teams, and they're certainly proving themselves. And after this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the drivers' table. Our championship leader is still sat at the top of the standings, but their rivals have made up some solid ground today. Some amazing talent out on the track today. But Anthony, who would you pick as your driver of the day?
Well, you can't fault anything that Sergio Perez did out on the track today. He drove flawlessly, making him an easy pick.
Let's move on to the constructors. And pulling further ahead in the standings, it's Red Bull. Well, what an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.